I mean, if you want to tell other people that, go ahead and tell them. But I'm not going to have to answer to it.
Well, it's always disappointing, when people decide for one reason or another they don't like your work anymore.
The iconic Bob Dylan, whose melodies have reverberated globally, have made him a living legend of the music industry. However, beneath all the pomp and splendor of being a top-tier celebrity, Dylan's life journey over the past 8 decades carries the weight of 1,000 sorrows, and this is all too evident in his performances as well. Bob Dylan is now over 80, and how he lives is sad. Join us as we explore his artistic genius, heart-wrenching personal struggles, and the enduring impact of his life. The story of Bob Dylan began in the heart of the Midwest in Duluth, Minnesota, where he was born on May 24, 1941. His parents, Abram Zimmerman and Beatty Stone Zimmerman, belonged to a Jewish community, and their cultural background infused young Dylan's formative years in a middle-class environment. Abram Zimmerman, his father, worked in various capacities, including as an electric appliance store owner and later as an employee of the Standard Oil Company. Beatty Zimmerman, his mother, was a homemaker. Dylan's exposure to music began early, with his mother introducing him to the piano. This early musical initiation sparked his interest in the art. Plus, the Zimmerman household, infused with Jewish traditions and values, provided a rich cultural foundation. The amalgamation of middle-class America and Jewish cultural influences marked the genesis of Little Bob's artistic identity. Of course, that was not his birth name. He was born as Robert Allen Zimmerman. Not very catchy, right? Well, he thought so too, and that's why he changed it. This was when he started on his musical journey. This change signaled a profound transformation in his artistic identity. Influenced by folk, blues, and country music, Dylan's early musical inclinations drew inspiration from luminaries like Woody Guthrie. In 1961, he made the pilgrimage to the epicenter of the American folk music revival, New York. This relocation brought him to the heart of a vibrant artistic community, allowing him to immerse himself in the thriving folk scene of Greenwich Village. The city's energy and the convergence of diverse musical influences shaped Dylan's evolving sound and lyrical prowess. The city became a transformative backdrop, propelling him from a promising talent to a catalytic force in the folk music renaissance. This juncture in Dylan's early musical years laid the foundation for the seismic impact he would later have on the global music landscape. Upon arriving in New York City in 1961, he delved into the folk music scene of Greenwich Village, honing his craft in small clubs and coffee houses. In those early days, Dylan struggled to make ends meet. He performed for meager earnings in venues like Goethe's Folk City and Gaslight Cafe, often relying on the generosity of friends and the occasional music-related job to survive. His dedication to music, however, led him to develop a distinctive style that blended traditional folk with his unique poetic sensibility. The turning point of his career came when talent scout John Hammond discovered Dylan at Gerde's Folk City. Hammond's recognition of Dylan's talent led to a contract with Columbia Records, opening the door for the recording of his debut album. Released in March 1962, his debut album, Bob Dylan, featured a mix of traditional folk tunes and original compositions, providing a glimpse into the emerging genius that would soon captivate audiences worldwide. While Dylan's journey to his first album was marked by financial struggles, he never gave up. Instead, he used the opportunity to engage in artistic exploration and strengthen his commitment to the societal changes unfolding around him. It was a period of resilience and creativity that paved the way for his subsequent groundbreaking contributions to the world of music and culture. This initial success catapulted Dylan into the spotlight, earning him accolades and a burgeoning fan base. As the folk revival gathered momentum, so did Dylan's career. Following this initial success, Dylan transitioned from folk to rock music. The shift was a bold departure. Dylan began incorporating electric instruments and experimenting with a more expansive sound palette. This move sparked controversy and criticism, particularly from folk purists who viewed it as a betrayal of tradition. However, it also garnered attention and curiosity, drawing new audiences. Bringing It All Back Home, released in 1965, marked a watershed moment in Dylan's career. The album featured a groundbreaking fusion of acoustic and electric tracks. The decision to incorporate electric instruments in some tracks was a deliberate choice, as noted earlier, and it paid off well. Subsequent albums, Highway 61 Revisited and Blonde on Blonde, released in 1966, further solidified Dylan's position as a musical maverick. These iconic albums continued to blend folk, rock, and even elements of blues. Highway 61 Revisited, especially, became the epitome of timelessness with a 6-minute anthem, like a rolling stone, that captured the spirit of a generation undergoing profound cultural shifts. Blonde on Blonde continued the innovative streak, featuring extended and intricate compositions that pushed the boundaries of popular music. Despite facing resistance and criticism, Dylan's bold musical evolution not only defined a new era, but also laid the groundwork for future generations of musicians to explore the boundless possibilities of artistic expression in the realm of rock music. Dylan's romantic journey unfolded against the backdrop of his illustrious career and left an indelible imprint on his personal and creative life. An important chapter in Dylan's romantic life was his relationship with Suze Rotolo, who influenced his early career vastly. Their love story, immortalized in songs like "Don't Think Twice, It's All Right," encapsulated the zeitgeist of the folk era. Joan Baez was another key figure in Dylan's life, and their romantic entanglement, though fleeting, became a source of artistic inspiration for both parties. Baez's influence on Dylan's early career was profound, shaping his approach to social and political themes in his songwriting. Of his two wives, the first one was Sarah Lowndes, whom he married in 1965 when his career began taking off. Sarah bore him 4 children, and their marriage endured for over a decade. Despite the eventual dissolution of their union in 1977, Sarah remained a pivotal figure in Dylan's life, influencing his work both directly and indirectly. Bob immortalized their relationship with songs like "Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands," from Blonde on Blonde, and Desire's song "Sarah." Following the end of his marriage to Sarah, Dylan entered into a union with his second wife, Carolyn Dennis, in 1986. The marriage was relatively private and resulted in the birth of a daughter. The couple remained together for almost 6 years, parting ways in 1992. The intricate interplay between Dylan's romantic entanglements and his musical odyssey underscores the interconnectedness of his personal and creative realms. These relationships not only provided emotional fodder for his lyrics, but also contributed to the richness of the experiences that define the essence of Bob Dylan, the man and the artist. Another influence on Dylan's career was his spiritual journey, which was marked by a profound exploration of religion and its palpable influence on his songwriting. In the late 1970s, Dylan converted to Christianity, embracing evangelical beliefs that steered his creative compass in a new direction. This spiritual metamorphosis found expression in albums such as "Slow Train Coming" and "Saved," where themes of faith and redemption took center stage. His conversion was a significant and controversial chapter in his life. The shift occurred during what is commonly referred to as his Christian period. Some suggest that he had a born-again Christian encounter, leading to a reevaluation of his beliefs and a deepening of his religious convictions, although he never identified with the title. Despite his conversion, however, Dylan has maintained connections to his Jewish heritage. Dylan's ability to navigate and reconcile different aspects of his spiritual journey is a testament to the complexity of his character. The influence of Dylan's newfound spirituality on his songwriting was unmistakable. His lyrics became enriched with religious imagery, grappling with themes of sin, salvation, and divine intervention. Tracks like "Gotta Serve Somebody" and "Precious Angel" resonated with a fervent devotion, mirroring the contours of his evolving faith. While Dylan's exploration of religion added a distinct dimension to his artistic output, it also stirred controversy among fans and critics. Some embraced his spiritual sojourn as a genuine and transformative expression, while others viewed it with skepticism. His spiritual journey perfectly reflects the fluidity of artistic identity and the intricate interplay between personal beliefs and creative expression. The depth of Dylan's introspection and the complexity of his evolving relationship with spirituality have surely found their way into his musical legacy. Behind all the stardom and success, Dylan's life and career were marred by tumults and ordeals best exemplified by a motorcycle accident in 1966. This was in Woodstock, New York, and it brought about an abrupt halt to Dylan's relentless touring schedule and prompted a hiatus from the public eye. The repercussions were twofold, with tangible impacts on his career and health. The enforced seclusion following the accident led to a transformative phase in Dylan's artistic journey. It became a crucible for creativity, giving rise to the legendary Basement Tapes sessions, where Dylan, along with the band, explored a more relaxed and eclectic musical landscape. This retreat allowed Dylan to redefine his sound and narrative, setting the stage for subsequent reinventions. While initially a response to adversity, the seclusion ultimately catalyzed a rebirth, illustrating Dylan's resilience in the face of challenges and his ability to navigate the ebb and flow of a storied career. But it was far from the only challenge he ever faced as a musician. His musical journey also saw periods of creative slumps that mirrored the oscillations in public reception. The latter had a profound impact on Dylan's creative landscape. The transition from folk to rock and subsequent forays into various genres brought both acclaim and criticism. However, Dylan's willingness to defy expectations sometimes led to moments of disconnect with his audience. Dylan's artistic experimentation also added layers of complexity to his oeuvre. From the controversial embrace of electric instruments in the mid-1960 SS to the gospel-infused period of the late 70s and early 80s, Dylan's sonic explorations often defied conventional expectations. Naturally, these artistic detours were not always met with immediate acclaim. However, he continued to exhibit an unyielding commitment to pushing boundaries and resisting creative stagnation. Dylan's impact on the social and political landscape was not confined to the realm of music. He also emerged as a prominent figure in the civil rights movement, contributing both through active involvement and songs of protest and social commentary. His engagement in the civil rights movement was characterized by a genuine commitment to change. He participated in various events, including the 1963 March on Washington, where he performed his iconic song, "Blowin' in the Wind." Beyond symbolic gestures, Dylan also used his platform to raise awareness about racial injustice, highlighting the urgency of societal transformation. Songs like "The Times They Are a-Changin" and "Only a Pawn in Their Game" became anthems for the movement, resonating with the struggles and aspirations of those fighting for civil rights. By intertwining his music with the social fabric of the era, Dylan transcended the role of a mere entertainer, becoming a voice for the disenfranchised and a catalyst for change. In the later part of his extraordinary career, Bob Dylan experienced a remarkable resurgence with the release of his critically acclaimed album, Time Out of Mind, in 1997. The timing couldn't have been better. In the 1980s, albums like Shot of Love, Infidels, and Empire Burlesque received mixed reviews and faced commercial challenges. Critics and some fans were divided over the religious themes involved. Naturally, these titles struggled to achieve the success of his earlier works. Dylan's experiments with different musical styles during this period, including synth-pop elements, did not resonate as strongly with audiences as his earlier work. The lack of a clear musical direction and the changing landscape of popular music in the 1980s led to a phase of decline in Dylan's career during that era. But the release of Time Out of Mind in 1997 helped him reverse this trend by returning to his folk and blues roots. This masterpiece not only marked a triumphant return to form, but also earned Dylan multiple Grammy Awards, including the prestigious Album of the Year. Time Out of Mind delved into themes of mortality, love, and existential reflections. The hauntingly beautiful compositions resonated deeply with both critics and fans, solidifying his enduring influence in the music industry. Unfazed by the passage of time following this return to favor among fans, Dylan continued to captivate audiences through extensive touring and the release of subsequent albums. His commitment to artistic exploration was evident in works like Love and Theft, which was released in 2001, and Modern Times, released in 2006. The Grammy success of Time Out of Mind fueled a renewed appreciation for his vast body of work. Following this, he dedicated his career mostly to live performances, reinforcing his connection with audiences worldwide. Through thick and thin, Dylan's ability to navigate the evolving landscape of the music industry while staying true to his artistic vision stands as a testament to his enduring brilliance and influence. Speaking of enduring brilliance and influence, his accolades form a dazzling constellation in the vast expanse of his musical journey. Dylan's Grammy conquests span an array of categories, reflecting the multifaceted nature of his talent. From Best Rock Vocal Performance to Album of the Year, his victories underscore the diversity and depth of his musical prowess. Dylan has also been adorned with a bunch of other prestigious honors, such as induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, winning the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and being awarded honorary degrees from esteemed institutions. These accolades, each a jewel in Dylan's crown, collectively narrate a story of unparalleled achievement. They stand as testaments to his enduring relevance, recognizing his ability to traverse musical frontiers and articulate the spirit of the times. This shelf of awards not only symbolizes his personal triumphs, but also signifies the lasting imprint he has left on the very fabric of music history. But his artistic odyssey extends beyond the realm of music and encompasses ventures into acting and film as well. Dylan's foray into acting saw him take on roles that mirrored his enigmatic persona. From his portrayal of Elias in Sam Peckinpah's Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, to his enigmatic presence in Martin Scorsese's The Last Waltz, Dylan's on-screen ventures became extensions of his unique allure. Dylan's literary pursuits further enriched his artistic legacy. His memoir, Chronicles Volume 1, is an introspective exploration where Dylan offers his readers a rare glimpse into the corridors of his mind. This literary endeavor, much like his music, is imbued with poetic sensibilities, allowing audiences to traverse the landscapes of his experiences through the written word. Dylan's impact on literature also extends to his selection as the recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature. This prestigious accolade was awarded for his contributions to the poetic expressions within the great American song tradition and elevates him to the pantheon of literary luminaries. In navigating the realms of film and literature, Dylan transcends the boundaries of a mere musician, emerging as a versatile artist whose creativity can reach into the very fabric of cultural expression. Through music, film, and the written word, Dylan continues to shape narratives and captivate audiences with a mystique like no other. However, Bob Dylan's journey is not devoid of controversies. After all, his profound impact on music and society intertwines with moments of public scrutiny. One notable facet of contention revolves around Dylan's political views. As an artist deeply embedded in the turbulent socio-political landscape of the 1960s, he became a symbol of counterculture. However, his reluctance to be pigeonholed into a specific ideological box stirred both admiration and criticism. Public reception of Dylan's work has been a double-edged sword, with fervent admirers praising his boldness and detractors questioning his motives. Plus, the mercurial nature of his artistry, transitioning from folk to rock, sparked debates about authenticity and commercialization. This invited polarized opinions, with some lauding his innovation and others lamenting the perceived departure from his folk roots. In the ebb and flow of public sentiment, controversies have remained intrinsic to his story as an artist. The collision of personal convictions with public expectations is indeed a messy affair for anyone. But he navigated the tension between artistic autonomy and societal expectations rather gracefully. Naturally, his indelible mark on the cultural landscape endures, leaving a lasting imprint on the interplay between art, politics, and public discourse. On top of controversies and personal issues, Bob Dylan's life journey has not been without its share of health struggles, encompassing both physical and mental challenges. Physically, Dylan faced a significant juncture with a motorcycle accident that altered the trajectory of his career with a period of forced seclusion that raised questions about his future in the music industry. Mentally, Dylan grappled with creative slumps, navigating the intricacies of changing public reception and engaging in artistic experimentation. These challenges took a toll on his mental well-being, shaping the evolution of his artistic expression. Yet, resilience became a defining trait of Dylan's character. Rising from the ashes of adversity, he not only recovered, but also reinvented himself. The interplay of physical and mental health challenges forged an artist whose endurance mirrored the robustness of his artistry. In facing these health struggles head-on, Dylan's story embodies not only the fragility of human existence, but also the tenacity that can arise from confronting life's most formidable obstacles. And these are the same obstacles that he helps others surpass. Bob Dylan's philanthropic endeavors form a noteworthy chapter in his life. Beyond the chords and lyrics that define his musical legacy, Dylan's commitment to social and environmental causes showcases a deep sense of responsibility and activism. He has quietly but significantly supported various causes. His philanthropy extends to organizations addressing issues ranging from poverty alleviation to education. The fact that his contributions are so understated aligns with a genuine desire to make a positive impact without seeking the spotlight. Plus, Dylan's involvement in social and environmental activism has been marked by a dedication to effecting change. His engagement with causes that champion human rights, environmental conservation, and social justice reflects a desire to use his influence to address pressing global challenges. As an artist whose work often carries social and political undertones, Dylan's foray into philanthropy aligns seamlessly with his commitment to making a difference. The resonance of his songs of protest extends beyond the music industry, manifesting in tangible efforts to bring about positive change in the world. In the grand symphony of his life, the philanthropic movements orchestrated by Bob Dylan add a profound layer. Through both financial contributions and active engagement in social and environmental causes, he emerges not just as a musical maestro, but as a compassionate soul, contributing to the betterment of the world he has so eloquently sung about. Within the tapestry of Bob Dylan's life, the realm of family life unveils intricate threads of relationships with his children and relatives. The dynamics within his family were shaped by the ebb and flow of personal bonds, creating a mosaic of connections. Bob Dylan has been notoriously private about his personal life. He has been married twice. His first marriage to Sarah Lowndes in 1965 resulted in 4 children: Jesse, Anna, Samuel, and Jacob. The marriage faced challenges and they divorced in 1977. Dylan's second marriage to Carolyn Dennis in 1986 was more secretive, and they had a daughter named Desiree Gabrielle Dennis Dylan. The marriage itself was kept out of the public eye, and not much is known about their relationship. As a father, Dylan has been described as enigmatic and reserved. His commitment to privacy extended to his family life as well, shielding his children from the media spotlight. Dylan's life has been marked by a degree of mystery and complexity, aligning with his elusive public persona. The scarcity of information about his personal life has only fueled the intrigue surrounding the legendary musician. At 80, Bob Dylan's life is a mix of vibrant hues and somber shades. As he reflects on the past, echoes of struggles and triumphs resonate. The melancholic strains of his journey are intertwined with moments of creative brilliance and personal turbulence. Despite the acclaim and adulation, Dylan's life bears the weight of poignant chapters. In the present, shadows may be cast upon his soul by memories of the motorcycle accident that altered the trajectory of his career, and thinking about how things could have been if it had never happened. The creative slumps, changing public, and the intricacies of his personal relationships, marked by marriages and familial bonds, evoke both joy and sorrow. The impact of his explorations into spirituality and the intersection with his songwriting journey might linger as a source of contemplation. His health struggles, both physical and mental, speak volumes about his resilience and recovery, embodying the tenacity that defines his spirit. In his octogenarian years, alone and secluded, hidden from the lens of public entertainment, Dylan's past is like a mosaic of experiences. Moments of activism during the civil rights movement, resonating songs of protest, and a resurgence marked by albums like Time Out of Mind are probably the best bits. The recognition garnered through the Grammy Awards and other honors also adorns his legacy. Yet in the quietude of reflection, there may be notes of sadness. The ebb and flow of public scrutiny, controversies surrounding his political views, and the weight of health challenges are threads that have been woven into the fabric of his life. The complexities of family dynamics, too, add layers to the portrait of the man behind the music. Though he may have faced unfortunate circumstances in some spheres of life, Bob Dylan's impact extends beyond the realms of music. His forays into acting and literature, coupled with his contributions to social causes, paint a portrait of an artist whose influence transcends genres. The legacy he has crafted is not just a musical composition, but a profound imprint on the cultural canvas of the 20th and 21st centuries. In the twilight of his years, Bob Dylan stands at the crossroads of reflection. His life, a story of joy and sorrow, activism and contemplation, continues to unfold, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of those touched by his artistry. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Truly unbelievable.